Just wanted to make a quick video about how I got into Salesforce. I'm starting to get a lot of you reaching out to me, and because I asked you to, first of all, so thank you. And I thought maybe it would help if I shared how I got into it, and then maybe, I don't know, maybe you can take some of that away and maybe try it on your own. So for me, I didn't even know about Salesforce until about 7 years ago. And I was working for a consulting company, and we were going over all of the up and coming, what are the top consulting things that you should be specializing in. And Salesforce was one of the techs, and I had never really heard of it. So I started doing some research on it and immediately thought it was pretty cool. It reminded me a lot of Lotus Notes, which I had done back in the day, and I found it very, very easy to pick up. So I started studying for the admin certification, and this was before Trailhead was available, so it was kind of hard to really find a lot of materials for learning it. Used, I think, a lot of study guides back then. But oh look, here's a joke shop. How cool is that? You don't really see joke shops a lot these days. Well, anyway, the client I was working for doing .NET development was making a switch to Salesforce from Dynamics, and just kind of asked the team who wanted to be part of that. So I volunteered, and they let me help out. So on that first project, it was mostly doing .NET integration with Salesforce, and they had an implementation partner that was doing the configuration, and I was able to just kind of look to see what they were doing and learned a bit. So I guess that was kind of my first exposure to Salesforce. I continued studying. I started attending some of the meetups. So there's there's local user group meetings that you can attend. And I started going to those. And people gave me pointers in those user groups of how to prep for the certifications. And I started going to some of the conferences. So there was, in my area, well, I'm from Milwaukee, and Chicago is kind of where all the big conferences are around here. There was the Chicago World Tour that I attended, which was free. Just really cost me my time to get there. And so I went to that and just started really drinking the Kool-Aid and learning what it was all about. So let's see what else. Yeah, so I tried to take the admin exam, and I failed. But at least I learned where my gaps in knowledge were. So I studied more, tried it again, failed again, and studied some more, and finally passed it on my third try. So once I had the admin exam, I think that kind of opened up a lot of doors. Then it was really easy to get that next position, right? Because I already had a cert, I had some experience. And I think that's really all that companies are looking for. So, yeah, that's pretty much how I got started. So if you're looking to go down a similar path, start with the trailheads. And there's a trail mix that you can do that kind of guides you through everything you need to get your admin cert. And so that makes it really easy now, I think, for people that are starting out. So that's trailhead.salesforce.com. and find your local user group. There's I think I always just search for Salesforce user group meetings, and then I find the link, but it's something like Trailhead Community something or other. You can find it, I'm sure. And so just start talking to other people and find someone local that can help you. What I found is that people that are into Salesforce are usually always willing to help people out.
I was 10 years old.
And then just continue getting certifications. The more certs you have, the easier it'll be to get positions.
I was 10 years
So I think that's my story, I guess, of how I got into Salesforce. Having that actual experience of like getting paid to do work is a big step. So for me, I was able to do it because I was already working at a client that was rolling out Salesforce. So I kind of, got lucky. I've heard other stories of people doing like charity work. I don't really know how easy that is to find. I know there's a website called Upwork where I'm finding some side projects to do, small projects. Maybe that'll work out for you too. I'm not sure. But I would definitely recommend getting at least the admin cert first. All right, have fun.